Well, hello there. Sarah Mackenzie here. I'm popping into your podcast feed in between official Read-Aloud Revival episodes because we did something fun last week and I wanted to share it with you. So every year in RAR Premium, we do something called Christmas School. This is 4 weeks of Christmas-themed family book clubs that offer your whole family, from your preschoolers to your high schoolers, a relaxed, bookish learning experience through the month of December. This year's Christmas School is brand new, is better than ever. We laid out the Christmas School guide so that it's open and go. Aside from collecting a few supplies at the top of each week, there is zero prep. There is a whole lot of wonderful. Last week, we revealed the books that we're featuring for Christmas School because, like I said, this one's all new. Over 1,100 of you joined us live. It was very fun. We had a great time on Zoom. We gave away books. We talked about what we're reading this winter. It was a blast. So I pulled the audio from that replay so that you can listen yourself, even if you weren't able to be there. If you'd rather watch the replay, actually, you can do that in the show notes. There's a video there. So you can head to readaloudrevival.com/October preview. And if at any point while listening to this, you think, yeah, I'm in. I so want this relaxed, bookish Christmas school in my family this December, then you can join us at RAR Premium. Just go to rarpremium.com, or you can simply text my name, Sarah, Sarah, to the number 33777, and I'll send you a direct sign-up link. Super easy. So on this RAR Premium preview is myself, the RAR Community Director, Courtney Garrison, and our Managing Editor, Kara Anderson. It's a lot of fun. So here we go. Let's listen. So glad you're here. First of all, we have so many members, RAR Premium members, and so many of you who are not yet members here. So let me do a quick introduction. I'm Sarah Mackenzie. I am the founder and host of Read-Aloud Revival, which is our podcast and online community that helps your kids fall in love with books and helps you fall in love with homeschooling. And tonight is one of our favorite nights of the year because the whole team is here and we are talking Christmas School and the winter lineup. And even though winter tends to be kind of long in a lot of homeschools, at Read-Aloud Revival, we have figured out how to do it right. And so one of the ways we do it is with Christmas School and with our winter lineup. And we're really excited to share it with you today. So Courtney, Kara, do you want to turn on your microphones and your cameras? And we are hoping that Kara's internet plays nicely because it has the internet trolls have climbed into her computer.
No spoilers.
It's been a day.
No spoilers.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, tell me in the chat if you can see all three of us. I think it should be set up correctly for you to see all three of us. Good. Okay.
Yep. Looks like it's
great. Okay. So here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to be telling you everything that's coming at Read-Aloud Revival in the coming months, including December, January, February, to get you all the way through that February slump in your homeschool. And we're going to be giving away books all throughout the night. Just like I mentioned, you do not have to do anything to enter to win. Just by being here, you're already entered. And in 1 hour, you will be getting an email that has your printable calendar that includes everything, all the events and descriptions and books and everything in a printable calendar in your email inbox. So you don't need to stress about taking notes. Although I know half of you have your Amazon cart open right now, don't you? I know how you are. We're all doing the same thing. Okay,
there are people in the forum. I'm sorry. There are people in the forum who can't come live, who are making deals with people to get them the list as soon as they can. So because they know that things might sell out. So
that is a thing. We should probably mention that. So that is a thing. So when we announce the books we're doing for premium, sometimes we usually try to give publishers a heads up. These are the books we're going to be doing in a few months so that they can make sure to have everything in stock. but sometimes they go really quickly. So I wouldn't delay probably.
I think with these books, you should be fine.
I think so. I think we picked a good selection.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Sarah and I have 6 kids. My oldest is almost 21. Youngest are 9-year-old twins. We've homeschooled all the way through. And let's see, Courtney, do you want to introduce yourself? And then maybe say a little bit about what you do here at Read-Aloud Revival as well.
Sure. I'm Courtney and I've got 3 kids, a 16-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And I have worked at Read-Aloud Revival since 2015, which that's kind of a big stretch. And I can say without a doubt, like the thing that's had the biggest impact on our homeschool is this community, is thinking about homeschooling, reading good books with my family. That has been absolutely formative for us. So I'm so grateful to get to be in community with you all.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
How about you, Kara?
16. Your oldest is 16 now. She must have just had a birthday.
On Monday. Monday is her birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay. Well, I'm Kara. I have 2 kids. One is in college. One is 15, soon to be 16, and looking at starting dual enrollment in January. And the college kid is coming home tonight, which is very exciting. He's going to come for a little visit. And I am managing editor for Read-Aloud Revival and Waxwing Books. And since this is like the lead up to Christmas school and the moms meetup, I'm okay to say this, right? I already did. It's out of the bag. Okay. Anyway, we do something in December for moms. I have to share. Have you seen this?
Oh, wow.
It's dairy-free Swiss Miss.
Oh.
And if you are a dairy-free person, you need it.
Really? Have you tried it?
Oh, yeah. They used to have it at Target. And so I bought just like 1 box at a time. And then they stopped having it at my Target. So I went to Target.com and they have a $35 minimum. And that's like 7 boxes of.
Totally.
Because I can't live without it now.
Yay.
Yeah. So
Melissa says they're very yummy. So that's good to hear.
Where somebody said, where did you say you buy it? You buy it?
used to get it at my Target. My Target just had it. And then I had to go to Target.com and they have a minimum. So
these are hard problems.
Okay, real quick.
Groceries.
Exactly. These are the essential groceries. Chocolate is like the most important thing on your list, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw a couple comments there. If you can't see all 3 of us on your screen, look in the top right of your screen. There might be a little thing that says view. And if you click on that, you want it to say gallery, then you'll be able to see all of us. Or if you are on a mobile device, I think it's like on those 3 dots somewhere on your screen. There's 3 dots. And if you click on it, pretty sure then you'll be able to choose gallery view. And you might not be able to see all 3 of us if you're watching on a phone. But I think it's like if you scroll back and forth, you can see us or something like that.
Oh, that'd be fun. I want to try that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's see. What are we going to start with? Well, first, let's just talk about, this is the thing you all want to know about is Christmas school, right? Let's just get into Christmas school right out of the gate. So, what is Christmas school? First of all, Christmas school is 4 weeks of book-themed family book club, guys. So we always do family book clubs. Our bookish, relaxed kind of learning here at Read-Aloud Revival always centers around books that we share together. And so our Christmas school is 4 weeks of Christmas-themed family book clubs that you can use in your homeschool with your kids of all ages from 3 to 18. And we have lots of members who do Christmas school instead of any other homeschooling during that month. And we are right now, in fact, today, I spent a lot of today looking at the layout of our Christmas school because we're kind of making it better than ever in that we are laying it out in a way that's very open and go so that you can just very little prep at the beginning of the week. You'll have a supply list to make sure that you have most of the things are things you'll have on hand or in the house. And there's a few, little crafts or something that might need pipe cleaners or something. And so you would get the things on your supply list. But other than that, it's very open and go. There's no prep. There's nothing you have to do ahead of time. And there is school for your little kids all the way up to your high schoolers so that you're all learning about the same topics, but everybody is learning at their own level. It's so good. I'm so excited.
Yay! I can't believe that I'm the one who gets to do the big reveal.
You are.
We're very excited. to announce this. This is something that has been a long time coming. It was September 12th in the forum when Crystal started asking for hints. And I was like, okay, we have to have fall first. We can't just skip to Christmas. But she was feeling it. And I know that Catherine Graves is here tonight. And she's wearing her flannel Christmas pajamas, even though it's 80 degrees where she is, because she is in solidarity too.
I almost turned on Christmas music at the entry music. I was going to, and I thought, I listened to Christmas music today while I was working on it on Christmas School. Yeah. I was like, I think this is like the exclusion to the rule of no Christmas music before Halloween is right. But then I thought I might offend too many sensibilities. So I decided not to.
So you have asked for it, and we have built a guide with 4 weeks of crafts and treats and activities and wonderful books centering on some of our favorite wintertime books. We are very excited to announce that this year's Christmas School focuses on 4 books by Jan Brett. Yay!
We are so excited. I mean, this has been probably the most fun. I mean, I say this every month when we make our family book club guides, but it's so fun to take. I mean, when an author illustrator has so many rich, amazing books with beautiful illustrations and fabulous text and all of this historical and nature, like accurate things to pull from, it's been complete joy to pull together the Christmas School guide. Yeah.
So we're going to be reading The Mitten, The Hat, Christmas Trolls, and The Wild Christmas Reindeer. Those are all available.
One more, because I forgot to put it on the slide, but The Night Before Christmas, one of those weeks we're doing too, because it's so good. I couldn't leave it out. There's too many good things I found.
Yay! So you can buy all of those books individually. They are also a part of the Jan Brett Christmas Treasury. So there's 7 books in here, and we're going to do 5 of them. So.
Okay, I just saw someone said, okay, I love Jan Brett, but I have older kids. I missed it. It went too fast, but this really works for all ages. Yes, this is Christy. Okay, so yes, and here's why. We use the picture book as our sort of guiding light for the week. So you would read The Hat, and yes, you can read this with your high schoolers. We're going to have different parts of the curriculum. I'll have a literary device. I'm just trying to decide whether to call it Looking Closely video, which is where we'll teach about literary devices. We'll show you some behind the scenes of making the book. Then we'll have ideas for history and geography and nature study and all of these different things around the book. We'll have a copy worksheets for your younger kids. We'll have writing activities for your older kids. We'll have recommended reading for your older kids. So when they're doing their free reading during the day, if you have a free reading period, which we encourage you to do, this is all in the guide, then they could be reading whatever they're reading or wanting to read. But we also will have some Christmas themed book recommendations for that age. So your high schoolers, for example, could be reading A Christmas Carol. And then at the end of Christmas School, you could watch The Man That Invented Christmas together. So we'll have all of these in the guide where if you have older kids, you can scale it up. And if you have younger kids, it will be very easy to make it simple. And then everything in between. And so that at the dinner table, you can have some open-ended conversations about The Mitten. And your older kids will bring their own maturity and their own level of development into those conversations. And from their writing assignments that are, or writing suggestions that are in a Christmas guide and all that good stuff. So yes, absolutely all ages.
And I think we'll be pleasantly surprised to see sort of how that naturally overlaps and informs each other, that all of the books start talking to each other, even if not everybody is reading A Christmas Carol, for instance, they'll start talking to each other.
I'm going to hold this up. I'm going to make myself big for a second because I want to show you something. Maybe if I can remember how to do this. There we go. It's huge. This book is huge.
It is.
It's like, it's in my head. It's in my head. It's very, very thick too. A lot of treasuries. Like we have some Beatrix Potter treasuries and such, where they like shrink the illustrations to get them to fit into a manageable size. They did not worry about this being a manageable size. So the illustrations are full, big, giant, gorgeous illustrations. And like we said, all 5 of the books are in here, plus The Trouble with Trolls as well. So there's actually 6. Wait, there's 7.
I think there's 7 books.
Yeah, there's 7 books. What's the other one that I missed? I don't know. The 12 Days of Christmas. There's 7 Christmas stories in here, and it's hardback. It's just really lovely. We're giving away 8 of these tonight, so just hold on. We'll do that in a minute.
And someone
let's talk about the books. Should we talk about the books really briefly?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So the Mitten, you probably read the Mitten with your kids, right?
No.
Okay. So it's been so interesting to me as we're making this Christmas school guide, and we're getting ready, like a video on literary devices, and we're putting together writing assignments and like the history. First of all, we have some letters from Jan Brett about making each of these books that you're going to get with your Christmas school guide. Where she's giving us a behind the scenes of making the books, like where she got her inspiration, the research she did for each of these. She went to a foreign country for every single one of these books. And so where did she go and what did she learn? You see pictures she took there and sketches she made. It's kind of incredible. And so in the Mitten, we have, of course, Nicky, who asked his grandmother, who he calls Baba, to make him a mitten, and he loses one of them outside. He wants a Snow White mitten, and he leaves one of it outside, and I think it's the mole that climbs into it first to get warm. And then it's one of those, there's a better word for it, but like a cumulative story where another character, I think it's the snow rabbit that comes and wants to climb in next to the mole first. And it stretches and stretches and stretches. And I'm not going to give it all away if you haven't read it yet. This is like, a lot of us have read this book to our preschoolers, but in creating this guide, I've been surprised at how many layers there are to pull out that I missed. Like the first 20 times I read this book, I missed them without looking for them on purpose. So,
yeah. Okay. And then another Jan Brett favorite classic, The Hat. We're going to read that one next. And my daughter, she saw when we were working on this, she saw the treasury in my office, and she's 15. And she literally picked it up and hugged it. She was like, oh, so, yeah, it's going to be really, really good. And the hat it's similar to the Mitten, but it's also distinct and wonderful in its own way. Woolen stocking comes off the clothesline, and a hedgehog finds it and decides it's a hat. And this one too uses like Jan Brett's foreshadowing panels that we all just love so much. You could just look at these books for hours and hours and hours. And it features a hedgehog, which is going to be a big part of Christmas school because Jan Brett, we found out her favorite animal is hedgehogs.
And she has pet hedgehogs. Like that's a thing she has. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You'll meet them actually on video.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. There's a hedgehog in Christmas Trolls, our third book as well. This is a story all about getting ready to celebrate Christmas. All of the things that we do to make our houses as fair as we are able. And books like these, they're just exquisite because they invite us to linger and to pay close attention and to cuddle on the couch. And I mean, that's kind of like the heart of Christmas school. That's what we want the most. And these books give us the occasion to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then the fourth one, and they're not in this order in the guide, but the fourth one we haven't talked about yet is The Wild Christmas Reindeer. And in this book, we have a little elf with a very big job. This one, I feel like, is the easiest one to pull out like a character lesson from. But it's basically, you are probably at Christmas time feeling very much like, is it Lisa? Is that her name? No, I'm getting it mixed up with another one. Do you remember the name of the character?
I don't know.
Tika? I think it's Tika.
There is a Tika.
Yep, it's Tika.
I think it's Tika. So yes, you at Christmas time, those of us who get a little frantic trying to get everything done, making merry for our children, might feel a little sympathy with Tika. But one of the things that's so interesting is you'll see echoes of each book, because when we're reading, and this is what we did last 2 years in Christmas school, we did Tommy DePaola's books. You see so many echoes of the big themes and things that are important to the author illustrator when you read a collection of their books. And there's more Christmas books than just these. These are all in this treasury, which makes it very simple for you to be able to get all the books for Christmas school. But from your library, you can find other Christmas and wintry books by Jan Brett as well.
Mm-hmm. So we've got 8 copies to give away.
Oh, yes. But first, can I just say the guide's going to be ready in mid-November because a couple of people have asked.
November 14th, in fact.
Yeah.
Yes. I saw somebody ask, do you have to be a part of RAR Premium to get the Christmas school guide? Yes, you do. Here's how to do that. If you just want to join RER Premium just for Christmas school, we totally get it. It's super fantastic. You will be glad you did. But what you do is go ahead and sign up for monthly. Go to rerpremium.com, sign up for monthly. And then after you sign up for monthly, you can immediately cancel your subscription if you want. And you will still have access for that whole month that you paid for. Basically, what you're doing is you're paying for 1 month. And in that 1 month, you'll get all your Christmas school things. And so you can cancel it right away. You might not want to do that. We're going to be telling you why in just a minute, but that is absolutely how to get Christmas school for the month. And that works perfectly well. So that's how you do it.
Yay.
Perfect.
We should talk about, we don't just do this. Christmas school is all about doing Christmas stuff with your kids, but we also have a little fun at the beginning of Christmas because like Kara mentioned earlier, we have a Christmas Mamas meetup on the first Friday in December, which is usually when we do our coaching sessions. But the first Friday in December, we have fun instead. And we do a little Mama's meetup. So we talk about it. What are we going to do?
Yes. So the first thing we do is make sure we have something yummy to drink, some non-dairy hot chocolate or some peppermint cocoa. Holly in the forum was talking about she bought a pint of eggnog ice cream and is scooping a scoop into her coffee. And I thought that's a very good idea. So that might be what I'm drinking at our Christmas meetup. But really, we really just want to start the Christmas season with joy and fill you up so that you are ready to greet the season with joy.
Yeah. And we will do that by playing games, which was super fun last year. We will have
They were really fun.
Games and prizes are really fun. We love games.
Yes.
Yeah. And we will also be giving away a bunch of codes to build a shoebox for Operation Christmas Child, which was also just a beautiful part of last year. This is so fun. The event is just a great sort of out breath before the beginning of the Advent season. So
that shoebox, someone was asking me which number date is it in December, and I'm looking. It's the first Friday in December, which is December 2nd. And it's in the evening. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, on Zoom, just like you are right now. The Operation Christmas Child thing is super cool. So if you're not aware of this charity, what they do is they collect, like you maybe have heard people do this. People can fill shoe boxes with toys and gifts and snacks and socks and things. And then they take them to places where children don't have any Christmas gifts at all, right? And they get these shoe boxes. And at the Great Homeschool Conventions where I speak a lot, there are oftentimes now grown-up kids who received those shoe boxes as children, and the stories they talk about, like the stories they remember of receiving those gifts is just, it's really moving. So anyway, what we do at the Mama meetup is we give away a bunch of codes where you can actually go online. They have this little shoebox generator thing where for $25 you can go on and you can fill a shoebox up with, like, your kids get to pick which toy they get and which personal item they get. And so they get to pick what goes in the box, but you don't have to actually go to the store and get the things, and you win the code to fill up the $25 box from Read-Aloud Revival. So anyway, that's how that works, and it's really fun.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. And then at the start of the year, we actually have something else kind of big happening. And I'm going to pull up, my slides again. Kind of big. So here's what we do. I mentioned on the first Friday in December, we're doing the Mamas Meetup, and we usually do coaching. So Circle with Sarah is our premium homeschool coaching, and it is really our coaching program that helps you create the homeschool life you love, get really clear on what you want to create in your homeschool, and then gives you the tools to make it happen in a really joyful, peaceful way. And usually RER or Circle with Sarah coaching is once a month. We have a new topic each month, but beginning in January 2023, we're moving it to a weekly program. And let me tell you how that's going to work, because it's not something you have to add to your to-do list, like to show up at a Zoom. But what we realized is that what we do in Circle with Sarah is basically a lot of truth telling to ourselves about who we are and about the work we're doing in our homes and about what's important. And it would be helpful to do that maybe more than once a month, or maybe once a year when you reread Teaching from Rest or something. Right. So what we're going to be doing is weekly on Monday mornings, you are going to get, as an RER Premium member, you will get an email every Monday morning that has a little short coaching boost to your spirits. But you can read it or you can listen to it because it will also be provided for you as a private podcast to RER Premium members. So you can listen to it. It'll be like 5 to 10 minutes. Just a short, like shot in the arm, basically. I hate that metaphor, but I don't want a shot in the arm, actually. A hug and some truth to help you at the beginning of your week. And then we will still continue to meet on the first Friday of each month or early on a Friday in each month for our live Zooms, our live coaching with Sarah's, where we're right here. We're doing all that troubleshooting where you can decide where you get stuck and where you're getting, making traction and where ideas, and we can like really troubleshoot and figure out how to make the homeschools that we really want.
Because it doesn't happen once a month or overnight or it, as quickly as we like, probably. It happens over time with small changes, small shifts that are moving us closer and closer to that homeschool that we want, a homeschool that's filled with joy and with love and with peace. I'm so excited. It sounds like everybody in the chat's excited too.
I just saw something that flipped. The chat goes so fast.
I know.
Somebody asked, are the replays available? Yes. So I should mention that too. Everything we do in RER Premium actually is recorded. So if we're doing something live on Zoom, it's definitely being recorded and you will definitely get the replay. And so, yes, even if you can't make it to a live, whether it's coaching with Sarah or it's something that we're doing for a family book club, which we'll get to in a minute, you will get all the recordings so you can watch them at your own time. Because obviously everybody's schedule is different, right? So you have other stuff going on. We get that.
Talk about Mama Book Club?
I think we should.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. We also have a Mama Book Club through Read-Aloud Revival. And we are reading one of my favorite books, one of Sarah's favorite books. I laugh because this must have been before I discovered book darts or something. I still have all these little, a lot of them, a lot of little flaps in there. And Essentialism, has Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And it's not a homeschool book, but it is one of those books that you can take the ideas from it and apply the principles of essentialism in our homeschools and in our daily lives. And it's super powerful stuff. I cannot wait for this one. I feel like it helped me so much figuring out what our priorities were and eliminating stuff that was causing more stress than good in our homeschool. So I think it's going to be really good to read together. And we will start reading in January. And we take it kind of slow because we know you're busy and you're homeschooling your kids and you have other things to do. But we will start this in January. We will then have weekly forum conversations and check-ins. And then we will have, to cap it off, a live event with the team talking specifically about strategies and applying them to your homeschool life and your home life. So it's going to be really good.
It's going to be really good. And I have to show you guys. I mean, I took it out today to get ready for this. And I don't know if there's another book I've marked up quite this much. I mean, I'm wondering if some of my notes will be embarrassing. So I'm like reading them really quick, but like, look at this. This is just like normal pages in here are like everything is marked up and highlighted and posted apparently. And sometimes I even had a green pen. I mean,
I'm a little bit nervous about this. Like that kind of freaks me out. I mean, book darts I'm totally down with, but you've got highlighters and different colors and all that writing.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? This is fabulous.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I will say I have read this book how many times, which is kind of funny. I mean, it's a book called Essentialism about doing less. And so I've read it like 10 times, but I mean, some of us, we really have a hard time with this, right? So every time I read it, I might have a different pen in my hand. Yeah, I don't know. It's really good. There's so much in here. And like I love what Kara said. It's not a homeschooling book, but there is so much in here that we can apply to our, like, become essentialist homeschoolers. I mean, even there's one image in here. See if I can find it as fast as I want to. This one.
I mean, the cover image itself is fairly profound, I feel.
This one right here, see if I can, yeah, that one, I feel like guides a lot of decisions that I've made in my homeschool. This is actually what I think reading aloud does. Like, we can put a whole bunch of information or a whole bunch of energy into a whole bunch of different ways of homeschooling, and we may make some progress, or we can like read aloud, and that's kind of like, that is an image that's in my head, but it goes for a lot of different things. I have decision fatigue written in all caps. So apparently we're going to get into it. We're going to read Essentialism together. I'm very excited about it. Let's talk about family book clubs. So first, for anybody who does not know what our family book clubs are like, they're pretty much the heart of what we do with our kids here at RAR Premium. And they're basically our playbook for how we do that relaxed, bookish kind of homeschooling with our kids in a way that our kids enjoy, so that they love reading more. That's always our goal, is for after our kids encounter a book in our homeschool, they should love reading more, not less. And that we will love homeschooling. So that helps us love homeschooling and love our life. So before we show you this particular, our January and February family book clubs, because we do them each month, we do a different family book club each month. So we have one for January and one for February. I want to just give you a peek into the guide that you get in RAR Premium. So you have access to these family book club guides for every family book club that we've done. Usually we recommend that people do the one that we're doing right now, because all of our energy in RAR Premium is sort of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like snowballs, because we're all doing it together, which is fun. Sweep is the family book club novel that we are doing in RAR Premium this fall. And so you can see, I'll just kind of flip through this pretty quickly. There are directions for how to use the guide and using it with different ages. This is going to get a little more specific in the new year, where we're going to be helping you know how to use this with kids in 1st through 4th grades and kids in 5th through 8th grades and kids in high school, and how you can use the same book with all of your kids to homeschool in a really like whole family way. But we have, for example, with Sweep, we get to meet the author in Zoom. So he's been at RAR Premium before to teach workshops. He's coming back to answer your kids' specific questions about this book, and to tell your kids specifically, Read-Aloud Revival kids, about this book. So he's coming to RAR Premium to do that. We always dive into artistic and literary devices that are in the book in a really fun and like a way that feels more like an invitation, almost like your kids become like they're on a scavenger hunt to find them, rather than an assignment, like they're trying to just learn the thing to check it off the list. We have ideas for sharing really beautiful experiences with your family, usually very simple experiences, but something that makes the book a warm family memory. Kind of like, hey, remember when we went camping that one time? Hey, remember when we read Sweep together and we had porridge for breakfast? That kind of memory. And then we have some suggestions for using the book across the curriculum, which you don't have to do. Of course, it's a pick and choose curriculum. You can pick and choose whatever you want in here. But if you are looking for it to reach across the curriculum, you're going to be able to dive into poetry, history, and geography. And of course, we'll have more recommended reading for kids who want more. And in this particular book club, we have this Reading Upstream page, which is a special invitation for high schoolers to read the same books that inspired Jonathan himself in writing this book. So that is what the inside of a guide looks like. And you're going to get a guide for each of our family book clubs. And in January,
it's Snow Horses.
Written
by Patricia McLaughlin and illustrated by Misha Archer. This book is not out yet, so you can pre-order it today. It comes out in November 8th. We heard about this book from Misha Archer when she was here to tell us about Prairie Days.
Yeah.
And all of us just were like, oh, I think that might be our November book. I think we just picked our November book. So we just had Misha Archer, like I said, come for Prairie Days. And this book is sort of like the nighttime bookend to that series. They really go together. They really speak to each other. And they're just wonderful together. And it's a book about the last day of the year and the first day of the year, and being outside and being in community. It's just beautiful. It
was kind of fun, Court, because we heard Misha talk about this book when she was here. And then I looked online to see if I could find anything about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at this cover. So then I wrote to the publicist and just said, like, is there any chance we can get an early peek at it? Because I knew that if it's a first night story, we'd want to do it, at the beginning of the year, but we couldn't wait till then to read it. So they sent us advanced copies and all of us were oohing and eyeing and swooing as we were like looking at this digital copy of, oh my goodness. And so, yeah. And knowing now a little more about Misha's way of making art. And then of course, knowing how beautiful Patricia McLaughlin writes, it's a great selection. Yeah.
Do you happen to know what the trim size is of this book? Like because we've only seen it as a PDF on a screen. I don't know how big it is.
I don't know, but okay. I would bet it's big because
it's a square. You can see that it's a square. So it's going to be, it seems like it's bigger than normal.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. Amazon
11 by 11. That's big. Yeah. Uh-huh. Wow. I have a ruler right here. That's huge. Actually, yeah. Hold on. That is basically the size. Well, okay. The Jam Brett Treasury is an 11.5 by 11.5.
Oh, wow.
Or actually, hang on, because you actually measure it from the pages, not the cover. Yeah. 11.5 by 11.5. Yeah. That's right.
I bet that it's the same size as Prairie Days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, Kara?
Because Sierra said, compare it to your head, Sarah. Earlier you compared
it's bigger than my head.
Yes. You're like, look how big it is.
I have a ruler right here, spoken like a homeschooling mom, right? That's Audrey's ruler. Totally. Look, my 21-year-old ruler from when she was definitely not 21.
She's been looking for that.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
Courtney in the chat says that, sorry. Courtney in the chat says that Target has books, buy one, get one 50% off. And that works for pre-orders too.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, well, hold on, because we have another book for you that you're probably going to want to pre-order because I bet you don't have it. But did you give away this one yet?
Dairy-free hot chocolate in the cart.
No. And bouillon, since you're there, might as well.
Oh, Lisa. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. She says, please, echoing the request above to consider Farmhouse by Sophie Blackall. Do I have it here? No. Oh, we will. Mm-hmm. We will. I mean,
yeah,
we already all have copies. Came out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I sent you both copies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was looking for mine too. Mine's been taken by a kid to read.
Oh, yeah. I'll reach out to Sophie and find out when she can come, because I definitely want her to come and like answer kids' questions about it and stuff. So sometimes we have to work around their schedule. So I'll find out from Sophie when she can come, and we will. I mean, it's stunning. It's so gorgeous. So anyway, sorry. Okay, good. Proceed.
Yeah. Okay. So I felt the same way when we did Prairie Days. I felt the same way with that book that I did with this book. I want to live inside of it. They're just the most gorgeous, cozy books. I love them. It's going to be perfect for winter. And then Cindy West from No Sweat Nature Study is going to join us to bring us a whole nature journaling event based on the book. And she always comes up with really creative ideas. And so in this one, our kids will learn about winter working animals. And Cindy always delights and surprises us with these. I think the last time she did a tour of her barn, didn't she? I mean,
you guys, so this is what happens. I love Cindy so much, and I think she's such a great teacher that we'll go, okay, Cindy, these are the books we're doing. So I'll think like, do you want to do a nature study one on snow? She never does that. She's like, let me see the book. Let me get my hands on the books first. So this one, we sent her an advanced copy of the book and she looked at it and she was like, I got it. We're going to do it on winter working animals. But there was another one that we did bears this fall. And I was like, do you want to do one on hibernation? And she was like, that's low hanging fruit, right? She's like, no. We're going to do better than that. I just love it. I love how she really looks at the books to find, the things that really like ignite our children's thinking. Is so good. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Cindy West is also who kind of got me to dissect worms in my co-op this term.
Well, so done that for me yet.
You've been warned. It might happen to you too.
It will not happen to me. I guarantee it.
Oh my! Can I tell you guys a really quick story yesterday? Yes. Yesterday I was walking out of the dentist office and there was an owl pellet. And I was like, somebody needs to scoop this up because I don't want it, because we have done that too many times. But I was like, right here, like I want to put like a cone by it, like homeschooler alert. Okay, sorry.
You should have taken a picture and put on Craigslist and been like, there's an owl pellet, and somebody would have gone to get it.
Yes.
For sure. For sure.
So yes. Oh, the owl pellets.
Yes.
Okay. So this one is going to be best for kids ages 8 to 14, but
that literary nature study is what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
That's good.
Probably owl pellets too. But this one is going to be best. This nature study is going to be best for kids 8 to 14, but that doesn't mean that your younger kids or your older kids won't get anything out of it. It just means that, you might need to help out in some different ways and assist your little ones. And, your older ones will draw more complex things and write more complex things. And it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So we've got books to give away. You won't get them immediately. You'll get them in November, but we've got 3 copies of Snow Horses, one for Cassie Harvey, one for Jessica Dixon, and one for Katie Zuberad.
Woohoo. Okay. So we've got Christmas School in December, Snow Horses in January.
In February. Oh, you guys. Oh, A Long Road on a Short Day. This is by Gary Schmidt and Elizabeth Stickney, his wife, and it's illustrated by Eugene Yeltsin. It is a wonderful book. We got this book a couple of years ago for Jalebuchenflud, and we read it that day slowly over the course of the day. It's longer than a picture book, but it's not a novel.
Yeah, I'm going to make you big, Kara, while you're holding that up. Oopsie.
Okay.
I think I am.
I think you're sharing, so I don't know if it makes a difference.
Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, thank you.
Oh, it's so beautiful. This is just a wonderful story, and it quickly became our absolute tradition to read it aloud on Jalebuchenflud. So it's just going to be a treat. If you are a fan of Gary Schmidt, or if you are not, you will become one. And he's going to come and talk to us. Oh, it's so good.
It is so good. I mean, Gary Schmidt I honestly think he's one of the best living writers today. I just think he is.
Yeah,
yeah,
totally. And I mean, we read it first and then read a bunch of the read all of the OK for Now books.
Yeah.
And now reading A Long Road on a Short Day, it's just like, it's such a Gary Schmidt book. There are so many things. If you know and love Gary Schmidt, oh, you're going to love this book.
Okay.
Yay.
We have some people wondering about the Jolabokaflod. Did I say it right?
I don't know. I'm not from there.
Jolabokaflod. I don't remember.
You just say it loud and proud, and then it's right.
Yep.
Okay. It's in directions. I mean, it's amazing. It's this tradition from where? Where am I?
Iceland.
Thank you. An Icelandic tradition where on Christmas Eve, everybody gets a book as a gift and you spend the evening reading. I mean, hello. Yes. Right. Except that would not work at my house on Christmas Eve because we do other things on Christmas Eve.
Right.
So in your Christmas school guide, you will have directions for setting up your own Jolabokaflod. If I said that right?
Yep.
Thank you. And picking any date that works for you, getting one book from either the library or as a gift for each of your kids for that special time with Coco and everyone sitting around reading together. It's all in the Christmas school guide. So it'll be a tradition that you'll be able to get excited about. We also have a very simple outline for how to do it so that it's really easy. At least it's easy for me to like take a very simple thing, like, I don't know, St. Patrick's Day or something, and turn it into this big complicated, right? Like we could just wear green. That could be the thing we do on St. Patrick's Day, right? Yeah. So we're making it really simple so that you can just enjoy the reading and spending time together. Yeah.
Really, Megan said it would be really fun to do Jalebuchenflud on New Year's Eve. I think
that would be great.
Yes, yeah. Sarah says that's what they do too. I love it.
Yeah.
So good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. That is a great idea.
We do it on Christmas Eve. And after sort of we open presents from family and stuff, we're at home. So then I sneak into everybody's rooms and I put their book and their chocolate. And I always try to get some kind of like fun chocolate from somewhere different to try. And I get myself a book too.
Oh, yay!
That's fun.
I'm sure my family would do it but it's kind of my thing, and also then I'm like, I can buy my own book. I can buy whatever I want.
So good. Hey, there's a good question. If we sign up for Christmas school, do we get a list to shop for the book clubs? Yeah. So actually tonight you'll get all of these. Well, actually before we even finish, you'll see them all on screen at once, but we will, send you a list of everything that's coming in the book clubs tonight in your email. So you'll get that. Okay. So this all brings us to our WOW workshops. So you're like, oh my gosh, if you're not an RER Premium member yet, and you're going like, wait, there's more there. So basically what we do in RER Premium is we spread this feast for your kids, all of it with the single intent of helping you fall in love with your homeschool and helping your kids fall in love with books, reading and writing. And one of the ways we help them fall in love with writing is by letting them learn to write the way that professional adult writers learn to write, which is by workshopping with other real writers. That's how they learn, right? So our WOW Writers on Writing workshops, we invite published authors, your kids' favorite published authors many times, to come to RER Premium and teach a specific skill, like one single skill, because that's what real adult professional writers do, is they hone one skill at a time and they sort of really focus on it and get better at it as they're working on their writing practice. And so that is what we are doing in WOW Writers on Writing workshops. And this winter, our WOW workshop is Weaving the Magic Carpet of Place. We have invited author Matali Perkins. You might know her from Rickshaw Girl, You Bring the Distant Near. She's written a whole bunch of books. She was the author of our recent Mama Book Club. Remind me of the title.
Steeped in Stories.
Thank you.
Like the teapot one, the teapot.
Yeah, I can see the cover. Yeah. Steeped in Stories. She was such an absolutely lovely guest.
Yeah.
And so she, in that book, talks about how the classics have formed her. And The Long Winter by Laura Ingalls Wilder is one book that she rereads every winter, in fact. And so we invited her to come teach our kids, trying to remember what ages. Do I have it? No, yes, 10 to 16-year-olds, how to write believable settings. And she's going to be pulling examples from Laura Ingalls Wilder's The Long Winter. So all throughout this winter, as you're doing picture books with Jan Brett, and you're doing Snow Horses and reading A Long Road on a Short Day, these are all shorter books that still will provide quite a bit for your older kids. But your older kids could also be reading The Long Winter, or actually all of your kids can be reading The Long Winter because it's fabulous. We're going to do a podcast episode just on that book really soon because it's so good. Even if they haven't read any of the other Little House books, you could just jump into The Long Winter. It's so wonderful and it's a great standalone. And Matali's going to be pulling examples from The Long Winter, how Laura Ingalls Wilder makes us really live in Laura's world through her writing, and then teach our kids how to do the same.
Yeah, we're reading it right now at my house, even though it's not quite wintertime. And we just got to the part where Almanzo is building the false wall to keep his seed wheat safe. So we talked about, would you do that? Would you do what Royal says? Maybe you should sell the wheat and make more money, or would you play it safe like Almanzo, like his father? That's what Royal says. You sound just like father. So that was a really great conversation we had.
We started re-listening to the audiobook, which actually Clara's listened to it before. All my older kids have listened to it multiple times, but my twins, I guess, haven't heard this one before. I didn't realize that. So we're listening to it and we get to co-op the other day and I have to turn it off. And Emerson, one of my 9-year-olds, goes, "Oh, this author is the master of cliffhangers." Which I thought, I don't think that's how most people would describe Laura Ingalls Wilder, but I think I win. Yeah, totally. I'm done here.
Take it. Take the ones where you can get them.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny. Oh my goodness.
Yes. And people are all saying that the audiobook with Cherry Jones is wonderful.
Yes.
All of the Little House books. Yes.
There they all are. The Jan Brett's Christmas Treasury, Snow Horses by Patricia McLaughlin, illustrated by Misha Archer, A Long Road on a Short Day, written by Gary Schmidt, illustrated by Eugene Yelchin, and Essentialism by Greg McEwen. And I should have put The Long Winter on here too, which I did not. Long Winter by Laura Ingalls Wilder. In 5 minutes, you're going to be getting an email in your inbox that has a printable calendar with all of this laid out, including dates for everything, dates for where Gary Schmidt's coming, for when Cindy West is teaching literary nature study, for when you're going to get your Christmas school goodies, for what else? Circle with Sarah. Everything is going to be on your calendar, and you can print that out and put it on your fridge or put it in your teacher notebook or your planner or wherever you would see it a lot. And so that you will not forget what's coming next. And we also have a link. Audrey, would you mind putting that link in the chat? We have a link where if you just want to go get all the books at one place, all the books are right there. So if you need to just see what they are, we get off here and you forget what they are, you can go click on any of those links to grab books. And then I did see, I saw a question about forums. How do the member forums work? It actually says, how do the weekly forums work? But Courtney, do you want to answer that at all? Like, I'm not
sure. I wonder if that might be a question about the weekly podcast. I don't know.
Right.
There'll be, this is brand new, and that will happen in the new year, that we're starting a member-only podcast that will happen once a week. But then we also have member forums that are available all the time. And let me put the link again. We would, in fact, love for members to come tell us one thing. We're going to read Essentialism, but we're starting tonight. Tell us one thing, the thing that you're most excited about, because we want to hear it. So we just like to talk there. It's a good place to reflect on what we've learned in Circle with Sarah in coaching, how we're going to be applying it, where we might be getting stuck. People ask for prayer requests. It's a really good place to be.
I just saw a question about Circle with Sarah. I'm going back up. Will it be a private podcast or a link in the email? Okay, so here's how this is going to work. It'll be a private podcast. You will get a link. As long as you're an RER Premium member, you will have access to it. They have all this fancy technology now so that you will be able to put it in your podcast player, which is where I want it. Because when I go to turn something on while I'm, sweeping the floor or doing the laundry or taking the dogs on a walk or something, I don't do that. Actually, they're giant. They're terrible. Well, I go on a walk by myself. I just open my podcast app. So that's where it's going to be able to live. It'll live in your podcast app. And it'll be like 5 to 8 minutes each Monday. That'll be a weekly podcast. That's your homeschooling pep talk. That's your homeschool coaching. And then I did see another question up in the chat about, is there still going to be live Circle with Sarah on Zoom? Yes. Once a month, we're going to get together on Zoom, and that way we can troubleshoot wherever you're getting stuck. We can journal together and actually make some real progress. And like we have been the last several times in Circle with Sarah, hopefully you'll be leaving with something that you're like, okay, I have this physical, like this last couple of times you've left with a letter, right? So something that you can actually implement and remind yourself, because what so often in our homeschools, we're just in the thick of it and we're just doing our thing. And we forget all of those highfalutin ideas we had when we were calmly sipping tea and our children were cherubic angels in bed sleeping. And then they're not, and the day's falling apart and we don't know what to do. So we're going to try and get some like tangible, something that you can like write down and take with you into your week. Okay.
And I just saw a question about giving RAR Premium as a Christmas gift. Is that a possibility?
That is a possibility. If you go to readaloudrevival.com/gift, maybe. Hold on. Let's try it. Okay, there's a funny joke inside our team is that I can remember weird web addresses, like really long, weird, convoluted web addresses. Courtney's like, where do you store those in your brain? This one's not hard. But so sometimes I'll be like, it's the one that's like -2/46 Glory Ingalls Wilder 2022.
And she knows them. She can get you right there.
Yes, it's readaloudrevival.com/gift. And then you can find out how you can gift RER Premium. There is an email coming your way in a few minutes, and that will have our that printable calendar. If you are not an RER Premium member yet, there will be a button there you can click to join us. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can join it. There's no risk to join it. You can join it, and if you're like, you know what, this doesn't fit my homeschooling style, no problem. You can just send us an email and say, I'm going to cancel and it's not really a good fit for me. And we will return your money in 30 days. So we absolutely love spending this time with you. Kara and Courtney, thank you so much for hopping on screen with me. This was fun. So fun, right? We hope you'll join us in RAR Premium this December for Christmas school and on into the new year for our brand new Circle with Sarah homeschool coaching lineup. I am confident that Read Aloud Revival Premium is the best thing you can do for your homeschool. It'll give you more peace and more contentment in your day-to-day, and it will also help your kids fall in love with books. To join us, go to rarpremium.com, or you can text my name, Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, to the number 33777. I'll be back with a brand new podcast episode next week. But until then, you know what to do. Go make meaningful and lasting connections with your kids through books.